Hello everybody, I hope you are ready to throw down because we have a Chicago Showdowns special video. This is footage from myself and other Tampa players in Chicago at GoFest. Our first match takes place on the tram as I was heading from O'Hare Airport down to Grant Park. Let's get into it. I open Lantern, he opens Shiny Flex Fortress. I'm going to use that water gun and get some damage in on that steel type. I charge up to a Thunderbolt, but I hold my energy. I shield this Heavy Slam here thinking it might be an Earthquake, and then I go for a Thunderbolt. I hit the Fortress with a Thunderbolt, immediately switch to Ninetales, and I Fire Spin down his Fortress. Out comes Lantern. I'm going to throw the Psyshock here just to get some chip damage in. Trying to charge up to another Psyshock here, and we get it off. Lennon decides to shield that one, and he returns fire with the charge move of his own. It is Thunderbolt, but Ninetales has done a great job, so I'm going to let it fall. I bring out Meganium. Meganium fires off the Frenzy Plant, and Lennon decides to shield. He must have a lot invested in that Lantern, so I am going to tank whatever comes my way because Meganium is just that tough. I farm up the rest of his Lantern now that he's out of energy, and I have both an Earthquake and a Frenzy Plant ready. I fire off the Earthquake on Quag. He decides not to block. In hindsight, Frenzy Plant might have been a better choice, but I switch into my Lantern here. I shield that Stone Edge, and then I Water Gun down this Quagsire for the win. Going into round 2, I open Quagsire, he opens Bayleaf. Bayleaf was an interesting choice. I'm not overly familiar with its moves, but I know Quagsire is not Bayleaf's friend. I switch into Mantine here, he goes into Lantern. I fire off the Ice Beam, not much damage there, and from here on out, I'm going to go for the chip damage. I know Aerial Ace charges more quickly than Ice Beam, so that's my choice. I get off another Aerial Ace, so that's one Ice Beam, 2 Aerial Aces, and that Lantern is about third health. I actually decide to shield here. I think Mantine's doing a great job. I'm going to make him really expend all that energy before I switch in my counter. I decide to go Quagsire here. After a few mud shots, he switches into Bayleaf. I return the favor, and I bring out Fortress. Again, a surprise there with the Ancient Power. I didn't know Bayleaf had access to it, but I do know it's a grass type, and I'm able to Bug Bite it down. Whatever's coming in is catching a Heavy Slam, and it is Lantern. Lantern decides to shield, but I get up to another charge move right as Lantern falls. Out comes Fortress. I'm going to fire off the Earthquake because I know my Fortress won't be able to get to another one anytime soon. He decides not to shield, but he does farm up my Fortress pretty well. Luckily, I have a Stone Edge in the bank. Linden burns his last shield. It's coming right down to the wire. I have a shield of my own. If I can get to a Stone Edge, I win, and we do it. Great game there in round 2. Going into round 3, I open Ninetales. He opens Bayleaf. I know it's really common in the Rainbow Cup to open water or grass, but I like opening fire sometimes just because it's tricky. I bring in my Meganium against his Lantern, and I know I can tank that Thunderbolt, no problem at all. Here comes a Frenzy Plant. He decides to shield. At that point, I might have let my Lantern fall and saved those shields for later. In comes a Frenzy Plant again, and Lantern goes down. Out comes Fortress. He's going to Bug Bite me down, but with 1 HP, I fire off a Frenzy Plant just to get a little chip damage in before I fall. Not sure which way to go here. I can kind of go with either one. I decide to bring in Ninetales. I fire off the Psyshock, and I'm going to use some Fire Spins here. Ninetales is squishy, so I'm definitely going to shield this Heavy Slam, and I'm able to Fire Spin down the Fortress. He's got 1 shield, 1 Pokemon left, and it's Bayleaf. Luckily, I have 2 good counters for that. I'm going to fire off my Psyshock, hoping to get that last shield, and we do. I get off another Psyshock. Bayleaf has no shields. That was a direct hit. After a couple of Fire Spins, Bayleaf's got some energy, but I have a shield and a perfectly healthy Mantine. This game is all but wrapped up. GG's again. So for our second match, we are going to Grant Park. This is the water fountain. It didn't look that way on Saturday. As you know, GoFest got rained out. I'm facing Harris Leader here, a trainer from Tampa that I had not played ever. So this is our first match together out in the rain, holding our umbrellas over our phones, which is pretty much the way the entire Saturday Open Rainbow Cup went. So to get into the match, I have a Fortress out here. He's got his Quagsire. I throw the Heavy Slam, and we get the shield bait. He's going to get another charge move off, and Fortress has done good work. I'm going to let it fall there and bring out my own Quagsire. I burn a shield to defend this Stone Edge, thinking it's going to be Earthquake. I charge up a little bit here, and I fire off a Stone Edge on his Quagsire. His Quagsire goes down, but I'm really close to some charge moves. I go for the switch, but he's already got banked charge energy, so I can't get out of there. I fire off a Stone Edge against this Executor. He decides to block. A little bit of lag here, but we're just playing for fun. He finishes us off with a Seed Bomb. I bring in Mantine. The Seed Bomb is going to hurt, but not too badly. I'm going to use some Air Slashes here to try and take it down, and we do. I've got an Ice Beam ready, but it's Lantern. Very good team composition by Harris Leader. Very good game. This match is all but over. GG's Harris Leader. We're going into round 2 here. I decide to open Lantern. He opens Charizard. I like a Water Gun Lantern for the fire matchup. Out comes Quagsire. I have a good counter for that with Meganium. He's going to hit me with a Sludge Bomb. Those Quagsire moves are so unpredictable. When you're running grass, you have to watch out for the Sludge Bomb. We take him out with a Frenzy Plant, but that damage is significant. We try to get to another Frenzy Plant, but we don't. That's okay. I bring in my Lantern to deal with this Charizard. I know I can tank the Dragon Claw. I can tank the Blast Burn. Either way, I'll be okay. I try to fast move him down, but he gets to another charge move. I decide to shield. I probably could have held onto that shield, but Lantern would have been really weak. He goes into a Lantern of his own. It's also a Water Gun Lantern. Guys, if you didn't know, the Charge Beam Lantern actually wins the mirror match because the Charge Beam charges the Thunderbolt more quickly. So keep that in mind at your own Rainbow Cup. I decided to shield this last move because I know Ninetales is not going to be a good counter to this Lantern. I fire off one more Thunderbolt, but he uses his last shield. This is going to come right down to the wire, guys. I'm bleeding health, but I fire off a Psyshock, and we take down the Lantern. For this third set of games, we are at King IV's after party. Guys, this was so much fun playing in the bar with good friends. This match in particular features Vikamon. He's a staple PvPer in the Tampa community. Very, very good player. Much respect for him. I fire off a Stone Edge against his Lantern. He decides to shield thinking it's Earthquake. I'm not going to shield this charge attack here. I was banking on the Thunderbolt, and it was. I'm going to get a little aggressive and go for the Earthquake, which he decides not to shield. Lantern goes down. Out comes Venusaur. Luckily, I have an answer. I bring out Ninetales. I always like to burn my shields on Ninetales just to keep it healthy, so I shield that attack, and out comes Poliwrath. I'm going to counter with a Meganium. I have to watch out for Ice Punch. That one did hurt, but because Meganium is so bulky, it didn't hurt nearly as bad as it would for a Venusaur. I am going to shield this next move. I thought it might be Power Up Punch, but it turned out to be Ice Punch, so that was a good move on my part. Out comes a third Ice Punch, taking down Meganium. I've got a little bit of energy with Ninetales. I think I can fast move it down, but it's not doing any damage, so I end up using my Charge Energy. I fire off a Psyshock here to finish Venusaur, and we take round 1. Round 2 against Veek, here we go. Jumping in with Lantern, he leads with Poliwrath. Poliwrath is a great counter for Lapras, as Valor Ash talked about in his Open Rainbow Cup tournament breakdown. I'm going to choose not to shield here. Power Punches are going to hurt, but I need to save my shields for later in the match. He decides to shield that Thunderbolt, probably knowing that I can't get to another one. I try to switch here, but he's able to fire off another Power Punch and finish me off. I go in here with Mantine. That flying damage is going to do well against the fighting type, but this is still going to be very close, especially since Poliwrath already has so much momentum built up with his power punches. I fire off the Aerial Ace and finally take it down. It's 2v2 with one shield each. Veek comes in with Charizard. I don't have a good option here, so I'm going to go for the Ice Beam. He gets off a charge move first. It's Blast Burn. That Fire Spin is so tricky. Sometimes it's a Blast Burn. I think it only takes 1 or 2 more, so watch out for that when you're playing your own tournament. I decide to shield my Mantine here. I know it's my best chance at beating Charizard. And even in spite of the lag, we're able to get in one more attack. That Fortress takes it down real quick, and out comes his last Pokemon, which turns out to be Venusaur. He does have a shield, so this is going to be really close. As we know, those Frenzy Plants don't hurt much, but 3 or 4 of them can be enough to take down Fortress. I'm going to fire off the Heavy Slam. I know I'll either get the shield bait or I'll get his life low enough to where the Bug Bites will finish him off. He fires off another Frenzy Plant. Things are getting really close here. A third Frenzy Plant comes my way. and I'm just heavy slam at the last second, and we're able to take down Venusaur. I went 2-0 against Veek, which is really rare. He's a really great player, and I can't wait to play him again. Going into this match with Lyndon. So for this match, we actually plugged our phones into the TV screens up in the bar. People were really cheering during the match. It was really cool. I tried to recreate that with this video, and it was a lot of fun. I'm going to open Mantine. He opens Venusaur. Trying to fire off that aerial ace, but he does block it. I get to another one, though. And we take down the Venusaur. Out comes Lantern. Mantine's done a great job. I'm just going to get a little bit of chip damage in here, and I'm not going to get switch locked, so I let Mantine fall. I know Lantern's got some energy saved up, but I have a safe switch in Meganium. Meganium fires off the Frenzy Plant before Lantern can get to his charge move. Lyndon decides to block. Here comes a charge attack. I probably could have tanked that, but I decided to shield just to keep Meganium healthy. I fire off the Frenzy Plant of my own, and we take down Lantern. Out comes Quag. Quag is going to eat this Frenzy Plant, and this was a GG, great match for round 1. For round 2, I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to lead Fire. Here comes Ninetales against his Charizard. He leads Fire as well. I'm going to switch out, even though Ninetales can win that mirror match with the Psyshock. I just wanted to play it safe, but I get switch locked, and out comes Venusaur. I land a Thunderbolt and get a little bit of chip damage in, but I'm not going to waste my shields on the Lantern. He takes it down with the Frenzy Plant, and out comes Ninetales. I am going to, however, shield Ninetales because I need it to be healthy going forward. I've got a couple of charge moves ready here. And Charizard comes back in. He's got stored energy, though, so he fires off the Dragon Claw. I fire off a Psyshock in return. He decides to block that. I look at my options, and I go to Mantine. However, he has a Fortress. This is an IV-dependent matchup. A lot of the time, especially with Wing Attack, Mantine can win, but I have to watch out for Rock Tomb, and I have no shields. That Rock Tomb really hurt. I'm going to fire off an Aerial Ace and try to chip down this Fortress a bit. We get it really low and actually take it down. Out comes Charizard. He's got a Charizard with one shield. I've got a Ninetales with a Psyshock. Let's see how this goes. He fires off a Blast Burn. I'm going to try to get to another charge move, but it's not quite enough. Moving into the tiebreaker, this was a lot of fun. We both open Quag. Quag mirror match. The mind games are setting in. Not sure if Stone Edge is going to come first or if it's Earthquake. He fires off his first, and it's Earthquake. I fire off an Earthquake of my own, but he knows better. He shields. I look at my options here. I consider switching. I decide to shield this next attack, which is Stone Edge. I switch into Meganium. I've got some stored energy in my Quag. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. Here he comes with Fortress. Going for the shield bait, I fire off Frenzy Plant. It doesn't work. He doesn't take the bait. Here comes a charge move from Fortress. It is Rock Tomb. Meganium has 1 HP left, and I fire off a Frenzy Plant. Fortress is a little less than half health. I know I have charge energy with Quag, so I'm going to go in with him. Here comes a Stone Edge. Last dying gasp from Quag takes down the Fortress. I'm pretty weak. Out comes Lantern. In comes Fortress here. I know the Earthquake will take down the Lantern, so I'm going to go for the shield bait. I decide to shield that Thunderbolt just to keep Fortress healthy, but out comes Quagsire. Now that I have no shields, that Stone Edge is going to wreak havoc. Heavy Slam is shielded, and here at the end, another Stone Edge is all he needs to finish me off. Guys, again, GG's to everyone from Tampa that I played against. I had so much fun in Chicago. It was foggy the whole time. I think we know why. But if you like this PvP content, please like, comment, subscribe. My goal is to grow the Tampa Bay PvP community. So if you are interested in joining, link to the Discord down below. Please, join it. Send me a message if you like. Either way, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.